Namaskara, everybody. Welcome to Crick Tracker's special show in the air. My name is Nivedna Prabhu. We are all ready for the next assignment for Team India. They are ready to take on Westindies in Westindies. Abhi yahan pe kya hoga, kya nahi hoga? I want to know all your predictions in the comment section. Of course, we'll also be seeing Shikhar Dhawan leading the Indian team. This is all the action is going to be happening at the Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain, and Trinidad, and it's going to start at 7 p.m. IST. The first ODI ka action is just a few minutes away, and to be discussing everything about this new particular series, why not have somebody new joining us on our show? I have Vignesh Bharadwaj joining me in the studios. Vignesh, I see that you're already bleeding blue, which is definitely an indicator that you are rooting for Team India. But on the other hand, what are we looking at in terms of this particular series? We're talking about the ODI format now, not too much of ODI that we're getting to see. So let's quickly dive into that. First, for both the teams to be also coming into this format, considering that the 2023 World Cup 50-over format will be happening next year as well. So it's good to see teams, logging heads into this particular format. But let's start off with what are we expecting from both Westindies and India in Westindies?
So basically, Westindies are coming off a 3-0 loss to Bangladesh, which might be, a bit of heartbreaking for them. So they'll need to step up their game. And from India's perspective, I feel it's like with solid bench strength all over the country. So I think it's like an audition for the 2023 World Cup. So, and with Ruturaj or Shubman Gill getting a chance, so it's time to they might have a chance to cement their spot in the 11. So yeah, and for West Indies again, it's like trusting the process under Nicholas Puran, and Puran took over in the month of May. So it's been a like they've hit hot and cold. But I think it's a good opportunity for West Indies to strike back against a strong Indian team, or maybe an B side, or maybe again India with a lot of talent. I think it's always a strong Indian team as we go. So I think it's a good opportunity for West Indies to gain some confidence into the T20 World Cup. Again, cricket, it's the same game. So yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a fair enough point, because Nicholas Puran also stated that he's ready to set a challenge to Team India. He's also, kind of taken into factors what works for Team India. But dusri taraf, we shouldn't be forgetting that West Indian batters can also give us, storms in the stadium if they get going. Now, which kind of players do you think will change things around for West Indies and India? What are your predictions? Who do you think is going to win? Give me all of that in the comments. I see a lot of, people asking me as to who is going to win. Before I dive into giving my opinion, you all tell me who is going to win. We'll also take a quick look at other aspects of this particular match. Let's start off with head to head to see that in the ODI format, how many matches that they've played between both of them. It is 136, with West Indies having 163, India having a slight hand of one winning 67.
Can you come again, please?
And of course, no result on 4 occasions. So Vignesh, I'll come to you on that. This is of course stats. Sometimes people go into these numbers. Sometimes people just let it go. But what is your take on this, with the fact that it's a pretty close call over there? Okay, I think we seem to have some technical issue. We'll probably get back to having Vignesh on our show. But coming back to your predictions, very interesting to see that Jitin has stated that Sanju Samson will be the man of the series. See a lot of you talking about who you're expecting from. I also see a comment from Chandra Reddy. Great to have you join us once again, Chandra. You're saying that Ruturaj will probably be the player to watch out for. ये तो definitely India की तरफ से है, लेकिन West Indies की तरफ से आप सबको क्या लगता है? Who will prove to be deadly as well? मुझे comment section में बताइए. Talking about what can also happen in this particular match, let's take a quick look at the approaching milestones, and we have Vignesh back on our show, so we'll find out from him उनके हिसाब से if he can take a look at all the approaching milestones. And Vignesh, tell me, which one do you think is the most doable in the approaching milestones that you see on the screen?
I think both are actually doable with 3 ODIs and Jason Holder back in the lineup. I think Kemo Paul will miss out from today's game with Jason Holder coming back, and 4 wickets in 3 games. I think it's pretty much achievable, and Alzari Zotap is like a no-brainer to start the 11 for West Indies. So I think both milestones are completely achievable and realistic. Yeah. So Shikhar Dhawan is 1 innings away from featuring in. That's also like he's going to captain a side. It's going to be he's done it in Sri Lanka, but again, it's going to be something different, and where actually I've been very surprised with the BCCI always dropping Dhawan, if I can say that, with the incredible number of runs he scored in the IPL, and leading towards the format. Shai Hope is 7 fours away to complete. Yeah, again, that's very much realistic. And Shreyas Iyer, this guy is, if he's in the 11, I think this guy is one to watch out for, because with all the short ball criticism that he's going through, and with West Indies maybe going with the short ball thing, with again with sometimes it's been 3 years since they have played a ODI in this ground, so I think it's going to be a challenge for Shreyas Iyer as well.
Yeah, I mean, he might want to also, prove that he can dodge those balls with a lot of efficiency as well. We'll have to wait and watch. I also see comments saying, Chandra saying that
Yeah.
Jason Holder will be the player to watch out for. Now, a very interesting point that you did speak about is Shikhar Dhawan. He's definitely a player to watch out from Team India. His stats speak for himself. He also opened up in an interview saying he does not let criticism, get to him, although a lot of criticism has come, his way in terms of the hot and cold approach in terms of his selection. But I think he has made the bat do the talking on several occasions, although the England series was probably
Absolutely.
not his best. But if you could take a look at the player to watch out for in this particular series from Team India as well as Team Westindies on our screens, please, before we dive into that as well. I see different comments coming in. I'll come to that in a bit. Shikhar Dhawan, like I said, his run 6,325, his highest score being 143 in ODIs. Dusri taraf, who's the player to watch out for from Team Westindies? If we can take a look, Shai Hope, 98 matches, runs 4,071, his highest being 170. Now, it'll also be interesting to see the combination from Team India after Jadeja has been ruled out due to an injury. What is your take on that, Vignesh?
I think they'll go with Deepak Hooda, where he can get in some off spinners. He's also bowled in the IPL as a part timer, so I think India might go with Shikhar Dhawan with again Shubman Gill or Ruturaj Gaikwad. One down might be Shreyas Iyer, two down Suryakumar Yadav, and Deepak Hooda might get a chance. Again, depends on who might keep Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson. So that's one opportunity for either Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson is like, he might, if he's in the zone, he's the batsman to watch out for. But again, it's going to be the selection committee's decision whether to go with Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson. I think Deepak Hooda will definitely get a nod above, as he can get in those off spinners in the middle overs.
ठीक है, तो विघ्नेश का ये मानना है कि दीपक हुडा शायद उस लिस्ट पे हो सकते हैं. आप सबका क्या कहना है, क्या मानना है, मुझे बताइए. A lot of you saying that Jason Holder has a good record against India. And he also has the experience, of course, playing the IPL, has done a fantastic job on numerous occasions. So he's a player to watch out for. हमने तो दिखाया था Shai Hope, लेकिन जितिन का ये मानना है that it is Jason Holder, and arguably, he can also contribute with the bat and the ball. So makes for a very
yeah, he can definitely hit a long ball. So with India's not like fully experienced bowling lineup, so he might exploit some of the death bowling and the middle overs. So it's definitely a good chance for Jason Holder to be a top pick in the series.
All right. So if we had to pick between Shai Hope and Jason Holder, who would you all go with? Tell me that in the comment section. Talking about particular battles that we get to see on the field, let's take a look at what the player battles are, and we'll find out from Vignesh which one he's looking forward to. Here we have Hope versus Siraj, where 21 runs have been scored, and Siraj has dismissed him on 2 occasions. Another player battle that we can look forward to is between Dhawan and Alzari Joseph, jahan pe Dhawan has scored 56 runs, but Joseph has, sent it back to the pavilion on 2 occasions. I would pick the second one. Which batter would you pick for Vignesh, and tell me why?
Sorry, come again, please.
The 2 player battles, which one would you pick? Which one are you looking for?
So basically, I'm going with the Shai Hope and Mohammad Siraj one, as Siraj is a swing bowler and Shai Hope loves to score runs through the cover region, so he's going to definitely go for it. And Siraj, if he might get one to swing away, he might nick one to the slips or the keeper. So it's going to be a very interesting combination with the new ball. As Shai Hope, sometimes if it's in the zone, Shai Hope's going to drive through the covers, or he's a very good player technically, and he's technically solid. With Siraj, sometimes his ego, he might play with his ego and going to bowl, and he might try to swing the new ball. So it's going to be a good contest that. With again coming to Dhawan and Alzari Joseph sometimes does use the short ball, and Dhawan sometimes trying to pull, and you can play with some mind games and keep a square leg or a deep hit wicket where he can pull it and he can have a fall shot, or maybe try the short ball theory and bowl one fuller and give it to the slip. So yeah, it's going to be a good contest there.
So it can either go this way or that way. But which player battle would
Yeah,
all of you
definitely.
pick? Let me in the comments. I see a lot of you saying that Lord, Thakur, Shardul Thakur would get an opportunity today. We'll have to wait and watch. The combination ultimately teams kya lete hain. We'll come to the toss and playing 11, in a bit. But one thing that definitely happens during matches is the conversation on social media. So let's find out कि social tracker पे ऐसा क्या conversation चल रहा है while these two teams are clashing. Indians to score ODI century in West Indies. 4 Virat Kohli, 4 all other Indians. All right. Virat will be missing out on the series, but good to appreciate him with his particular stats. Sanju is ready for the Windies challenge, is what one of the tweets says over here. Captain Gabbar reporting for duty. Sadda Shera is what Punjab Kings has tweeted. Crick Trackers tweeted an action-packed 3-match ODI series starts from today. Which side are you rooting for? Wasim Jaffer has tweeted, I think Ruturaj should make his ODI debut and open with Shikhar in the West Indies series. Ruturaj scored 4 tons in 5 innings in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. Deserves a look in. Also, left-right combo stays. Gujarat Titans saying Men in Blue united for the WI challenge. A battle to remember between Virat Kohli and Kesrick Williams. Of course, we remember that Kesrick Williams was almost crying. This epic, battle of its own. And of course, we miss the old magical Virat Kohli. Hoping to see that once again on the field. Gujarat Titans.
Hey.
All right, that is Team India doing other interesting things. जहाँ पे they did make this particular reel. I think out of everything वहाँ पे जो stood out हुआ था, everybody wants to know this. How did and who managed to get Rahul Dravid to be a part of this? मतलब ये क्या चहल का effect है कि वो भी मतलब Instagram reels he has started doing. I'm more curious to find out who produced Rahul Dravid. But on the other hand, this is of course the kind of bonding that happens. They also won that particular series against England. But coming back to that particular tweet that Wasim Jaffer tweeted, Vignesh, I'll come to you. One of the most popular combos that all of us have loved in terms of left and right has been Rohit and Shikhar. So the fact that he has said that he would like to see a Ruturaj to be looked into. What is your take on that?
So I think going with Ruturaj Gaikwad, I think it's a no-brainer because again there is a debate with Shubman Gill, but with the number of runs he scored recently, he's just been scoring runs for fun recently in the domestic circuit. So I think it's an easy option to go with Ruturaj, and I think he's a good player. He's technically solid, and he's got the shots, he's got everything which is needed for opener. I think Shikhar Dhawan and again the left-right hand combination is always a difficult challenge for any bowler with a new ball. I think it's the way to go, I feel, with Shikhar Dhawan and Ruturaj Gaikwad.
All right. So, what is everybody telling me in terms of Wasim Jaffar's, tweet? Do you think that is ideally what Team India should be looking into? Tell me that in the comment section. Dusri taraf, talking about the toss, West Indies have won the toss and opted to bowl first. Vignesh, I'll come to you a little bit on that in terms of the conditions, the combination that they have gone with. We'll come to know in a bit as to the playing 11. But considering that they've taken the decision to bowl first, is that what even Team India would have looked to do? What is your take?
Yeah, it's an easy choice because you don't know how the surface is going to react because it's been 3 years since they played a game here in Trinidad. So I again opting to bowl first, and again here Trinidad, Port of Spain, basically over the years it's been as you like play more cricket on the surface, it gets better to bat, and it's always better to bat under the lights. So it's an easy choice to bat first. Again, more cricket on the surface, it's always easy to bat.
Okay,
and it's been close to 3 years since they played a game here. So cricketers don't know how the surface is going to react. So that's definitely an option to bowl first.
Yeah, we only know after the the match. Once the winning team has come out with the outcome of this particular toss, हमें पता चलेगा. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोगों का they're divided about who should be playing today, who should be not playing today. But Jitin has made his prediction कि Shikhar Dhawan and Shubman Gill should be the opening combination. 3 Sanju Samson, fourth Deepak Huda, and fifth should be Shreyas Iyer. Now, like I said, we'll come to that in a bit as to what the combination of the playing 11 of both the teams are looking like. But let me head over to what Nicholas Pooran, the West Indies captain, has said after the toss. He has said, just due to the weather and start time, we will look to use the conditions. Happy to win the toss. Think the guys will be happy. Happy to be at my home ground. He's also added, we spoke about batting through the innings, build partnerships. We will try our best to improve. Jason has COVID. Mayers is back from injury. Rest are the sum from the Bangladesh series. Okay, so the big update coming in is that after all the comments that were expecting Jason Holder to be in action looks like that's not going to be happening. I come to you, Vignesh, on that. The fact that Mayers is back from injury. So is that a good sign for West Indies?
Yeah, it is definitely a good sign because he's handy with the ball as well, and he can open the innings with shy hope, is what I believe. So I think that's a good pick for West Indies with Jason Holder, and it's not a good sign as nearing again COVID. I think we need to just start with the regulations, keep them off, and Kyle Mayers is a good choice. I feel he can contribute with both bat and ball.
All right, so this is the take, the latest update that we have. But dusri taraf, let's find out what Indian captain Shikhar Dhawan has said after the toss. He said, we wanted to bat second. Wicket is sticky and rain is around, but we are okay with this. I'm a very cool captain. We'll hope to keep the energy up, take good decisions, and keep the process strong. The bench strength is complementary with domestic and IPL cricket. This is a great opportunity to showcase talent, show fight, and win the series. Surya, Shreyas, Samson are all good. Even myself. He laughs about that. We get support here from abroad and locals, which is good. A quick word on that, right? You also mentioned that the bench strength is fantastic. It's a great sign for Indian cricket. Last year around this time, we did see that one particular team went to play the Test series when Virat Kohli was, of course, leading things, and things have changed. Dusri taraf, Shikhar Dhawan, going into Sri Lanka, that was a fantastic series that they had with T20I and ODI as well. In the scheme
and recently with the one team touring England and one team playing in Ireland.
Correct. So that talks volumes about having great bench strength, having great talent. But is it a headache when it is plenty of players to choose from? Because
so sometimes it's a good headache. It's a good headache to have rather than having no players at all. So I feel bench strength is always a plus point. With again, if depends. So when you're picking a team for a series or a World Cup, you have to go with the right combinations, and sometimes a player might miss out, and it is what it is. That's the game. It's a team game, so that's how we carry forward.
All right. So talking about the fact that you think it's a good headache to have, but is the negative connotation to this that you don't know what combination will work for you? Is it you're always experimenting? Is that a good thing?
So again, depends. Lots of chopping and changing is never a good thing. You
Right.
stick to your basics. You stick to your core. So basically, there's a core. You pick 3 to 4, and you play. You make a team around them. So that's what normally goes into the 11. And when there is bench strength, you might have one or two changes. But again, I'll give an example with the English rotation policy in tests. It was like again it hit hot and cold, and I was not very impressed with it. So you pick a core, they're performing, and there's no point in benching them. I'll give an example where they messed it up in an Ashes series in a fourth game, and they picked the wrong side and they lost the series. So there's no point in chopping and changing. So you pick a core, you back them. One or two failures, you still back them. They're going to produce the goods, and that's how I feel India is going to take forward with the bench strength.
All right, talking about this particular series, let's talk a little bit about captaincy, because for both Nicholas Pooran and Shikhar Dhawan, this is going to be a new assignment of a sort. What is your take on that? I don't think was Shikhar Dhawan ever a first choice for captaincy, or is it because at the end of the day they're also running out of options because of injury and unfortunately COVID-19 concerns? It's a great opportunity for him, but what do you think of that as well?
So again, I don't think he was always a first choice option as to captain India, but with the lot again with the amount of experience he's got in international cricket, with the amount of games he's played, I don't think he's going to feel it's like something new, or he's going to take pressure from it, and it's going to go as per plan, and he's like a funny captain, so it should go well. Yeah.
Yeah, considering the fact that he has said, he was self-praising himself. I mean, we look at the numbers and it's not a bad thing. But talking about assignments and what's really going to happen, Saurav Ganguly also did confirm that after all, in a way, it's unfortunate that Sri Lanka will not get to be hosting the Asia Cup. Let's have a quick
Asia
chat on
Cup.
that as well, Vignesh, with the fact that that's the next big, profile tournament, high-profile tournament that we're looking at. What are you expecting for Team India? Because right after that, we'll also be looking at them going into the scheme of the T20 World Cup 2022 in Australia. But a quick word on how Team India is looking to get that combination right for Asia Cup. What are your predictions, especially with them playing so many series back to back?
I think with the Asia Cup, it's a multinational event, so I think they have to go with the World Cup squad, I believe, and with Rohit coming back into the West Indies series anyway, I think they'll have to go with Rohit again if they're planning to go with Virat Kohli, which I believe they will. I think it's important that they get Virat Kohli back, Jasprit Bumrah back, Bhuvneshwar Kumar back, and the core World Cup squad, and like it's a basically an audition or how they're going to perform under pressure with left arm paces. With as coming to Pakistan, they're definitely going to play Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah Afridi. So it might be a test where how they might cope up with the left arm conditions, even though UAE is totally different to Australia. I think they have to pick the core World Cup squad for the Asia Cup.
And we all remember what happened last year when India-Pakistan clashed, and Shoaib Akhtar went on to say that this year he's not going to be making any predictions. But अगर आप सबको कोई predictions बनाना है तो मुझे comment. Talking about predictions and combinations, a quick word from you. Why don't you tell us what is the ideal combination for Team India to have in their playing 11 for the T20 World Cup 2022?
Okay, so here's this thing. I would always India to play Rishabh Pant, Dinesh Karthik, and Hardik Pandya in the 11. Again, sometimes one has to miss out, and I feel KL Rahul might miss out with I would like Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma to open, Virat Kohli to play one down, Surya Kumar at number 4, Rishabh Pant at 5, DK or Hardik at 6, Jadeja at 7, Bhuvi, Bumrah, Shami and Chahal, or maybe Harshal instead of Shami and Chahal. I think that's a solid lineup and it's a championship winning lineup.
Okay, talking about championship, the reason why I asked you that is because everyone seems to be a little divided on whether it's too soon for Umran to be having that international opportunity. Yes, you want to test him out. Yes, you are excited about the fact that you have this pace machine. It's been quite some time since we saw, Indian bowlers. It's not very, often that we talk about Indian bowlers having that amount of pace. But do you think it's still raw? And to go into scheme of things like the World Cup in Australia conditions, as a cricket fan you would obviously want to see someone like Umran, but practicality wise, do you think you would still give that a big go ahead?
No, I think it's a little too early because he's just developing himself as a fast bowler. Yes, raw pace is like it can lit up stadiums. It can make commentators drop their jaws. So, but again, he needs to develop as a fast bowler going into the phase. Where I believe he needs to play a lot of India A tours to Sena nations. That's basically South Africa, England, New Zealand, and Australia, and develop. And so, from a raw material, he needs to become that proper Indian fast bowler where he can first. I think he needs to play a lot of Ranji games, a lot of domestic in the domestic circuit where he's going to develop himself. With the IPL, he's definitely going to play the IPL, and if he stays fit through and hopefully with less injuries, I think he's going to have a great career.
All right, so that is ultimately boiling down to the fact that even if you have pace, your variations need to do the talking as well. I see a lot of comments.
You need to be a little smart for a fast bowler. Yes, pace is absolutely incredible, and me being a fast bowler, but you need to be a little smart. Yeah.
All right, did you just say that you're a fast bowler yourself?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a great talking point. I see a lot of you are making your predictions, and I'm sure a lot of cricket fans are here as well. So let's find out from Vignesh. दूसरी तरफ a little bit उनकी तरफ से पता करते हैं कि आप खुद एक fast bowler है. What are the top 2 tips you would give, aspiring, young cricketers out there who tuned in? What do you think are the 2 must-haves? Pace मत बोलना. Pace के अलावा क्या चाहिए? वो बोलिए for a fast bowler.
I think it's just about having fun out there. You go enjoy yourself. When you suddenly start thinking about you have to play for India or you have to play for the state, it's just you're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself. It's just going out there as a 10-year-old, 12-year-old kid, going having fun, playing cricket with your friends, and just enjoying the time for yourself. And that's where you build yourself up, and you gain a lot of confidence. You play with your friends. You play for the team and not for yourself, so you get a lot of confidence there. And you meet a lot of different people when you play under 14s, under 16s. You travel the length and breadth of the country, so you gain a lot of experience. You get a lot of life lessons, playing that way. So as you mature into a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, you keep having fun and just not taking pressure that you need to play under 16 state at when you're 14, or under 19 state when you're 18, or under 23, basically. So it's just about having fun and playing the game you love. That's as simple as that. You just turn into a good cricketer.
All right. So it's
Very
all
simple.
ultimately about being in an environment which inspires you, probably motivates you to do better. And I think on umpteen number of occasions we have seen that with seasoned international cricketers as well, who have said that being around people who are better than them gets better of you. And I think that's just basically how it works in life as well. But let's
Yeah.
talk about the first ODI. Coming back to
And
all the action,
yes,
let's find out
again,
the playing.
yeah,
Yeah,
again,
Vivek.
one, yeah, again, it needs some players might get success very soon. When you're 15, you might play under 19 state, but again, it's all about being humble. Sometimes humility is, I feel, is one of the most important things to be a good cricketer as well as a good person. So I think that's a being humble
Right,
is again a very key factor in molding you as a
right.
cricketer.
And I think it's also about the fact that sometimes you need to have that humility so that you're as grounded to your roots, because it is important to know
Yeah.
where you've come
See,
from. Is
if
that
you know, yeah, exactly. If you know where you're from and who you are, and the world might be the same without you, so you put things into perspective. So you eventually grow as a cricketer.
right? And that's probably a really effective way of seeing things. आप सब मुझे बताइए, आप सबका fast bowler, favorite fast bowler कौन है comments में. And coming back to the first ODI, let's quickly find out कि West Indies और Team India ने अपने playing 11 combination में किन किन players के साथ वो गए हैं. यहाँ अगर देखा जाए West Indies, Nicholas Pooran as captain, Shai Hope, Shamra Brooks, Akil Hussain, Alzari Joseph, Brandon King, Kyle Myers. We have Gudesh Moti, Roman Powell, Jaden Seals, and Romario Shepherd. दूसरी तरफ India have gone with Shikhar Dhawan and Shubman Gill as the combination. Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sanju Samson, Deepak Huda, Aksar Patel, Shardul Thakur, Yuzvendra Chahal, Mohammad Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna. So I think a lot of the predictions have come right here. But before we wrap up, a quick word from Vignesh about Team India's playing 11 combination they've gone with. Would you give that an 8 on 10 or a 10 on 10?
We expected the same with Deepak Huda getting his off spinners in, as Jadeja is not here. So we needed some middle order part time bowler. Again, it was one decision with Ruturaj Gaikwad or Shubman Gill. So I think it was a pretty expected lineup, and yeah.
Okay, all right. So
The
Wasim,
unexpected thing was Jason Holder getting COVID.
exactly. Yeah, that's probably the last minute news that we're receiving in terms of injuries and COVID. But kya hi kar sakte hai with the kind of times that we're living in. I think we have to become
Environment we
used
are
to,
in.
right? But on that note, I want to thank Vignesh for joining me on the show and giving us his fabulous views, and all of you as well for joining me and interacting me with your predictions. Let's find out कि इस match में first ODI का result क्या होगा. But we will join you during the second ODI's pre-match analysis to be discussing everything to do with this first particular match's verdict. So don't forget to join us. Until we see you next time, take care of yourselves and follow Crick Tracker for the latest news in the world of cricket.